right?
So I've been a bit confused when you're talking about choosing emotion.
Yep.
So in the past, I'm sure a lot of people have gone down this track, but I'll be listening to a song or something, and I'm like, oh yeah, pretty sad about that. And then I'll see another video.
Would you stop there first? You're listening to the song and you're pretty sad about that.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? You're not crying.
Oh no, sometimes I'll have a bit of a cry about it.
Yeah, but you observe that you're pretty sad about that.
Yeah.
It's basically what you're saying.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So your intellect is aware you are sad about it.
Yeah.
You've just made a choice.
Yeah, okay. Wait. Can you say that again, please?
What's the choice? Like in that moment, if you were in a sort of a childlike state, what would you do? Like if you're listening to a song and you're sad, what would you be doing?
Cry.
And you wouldn't even think about it, would you?
No.
You'd just go, cry. I'm not even thinking, oh, I'm sad, I'm going to cry now. As soon as you do that, you're making a choice.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, I get in my head because then I go, I'll see another video that you're talking about. I've heard you talking to people and you're like, I know, but when you're crying about that, you're wanting to cry about that. It's not, you don't actually cry. I don't know. I get confused with that. And then I get in my head.
Well, the main problem is we don't want to cry about it, isn't it? And that causes to decide or make a choice to avoid it, right? So an example of that is you hear a song that affects you emotionally, but you don't let yourself feel the emotion that it affects you with. So some songs like you want to get up and dance, right? But you don't. Right? Now, if you were in your soul, you would. And it wouldn't matter whether you're in the street or maybe, I don't know, at work or anywhere, you'd get up and dance because the emotion is saying dance, and so you dance. And you don't think about it. You just do it because that's how a child connected to its emotion, that's how we've been designed, to be connected to our emotion and just have them as we have them. Right? As soon as we say, I feel a bit sad, and we're not actually right at that moment crying, and in fact what actually happens when you do this is you don't even notice yourself feeling sad. You actually just cry straight away. So there's no even observance of the emotion, you're just in it. Do you understand? As soon as you have an observance of the emotion, you're working against your design. You understand?
Yeah.
The design is to just feel what you feel right in the moment. So let's say somebody turns on some beaty music or whatever, and you feel the beat of it, and you want to get up and dance, and so you do, right? That's you being more connected. Now, with things that we like, we generally are more connected to them. But when it comes to feelings we don't like fear in particular, and sadness, and so grief, even anger for most people, they don't let themselves feel it when they have it, right? They just don't. Because we go, oh, I'm observing that. And straight away, as soon as we're observing, we're working against the design. That's our intellect now, observing the emotion, rather than us actually having the emotion, right? So, in our life, and our current lives are often a complete reflection of how extreme we've become controlling and making decisions about our emotions. So the whole desire to control an emotion is a decision about an emotion, right? So that's me making a choice. I'm choosing to either experience that emotion or to deny it. So it's best to say here the choice is not to just, as soon as I'm making a choice to have an emotion, I'm already out of harmony with having the emotion. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's like the acknowledgement that I'm sad.
As soon as you're already out of harmony with having the emotion. Just that, a person who's sad will just go and have a cry without thought. Yep. You also need to see that, at some point I need to have this sort of internal switch that happens. And the internal switch needs to go from me deciding about my emotions, looking at my emotions, analysing my emotions, and all of that stuff, into forgetting all of that and just, you could say surrendering to them, couldn't you? Because the reality is, if we look at the word surrender, what does it mean? Is that how you spell it?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what does it mean to surrender?
To soften into them.
No, it doesn't mean soften. Hold your mic up on.
To, I guess, like, relinquish what I think and kind of surrender to what is coming to me. I don't know how to explain it.
Well, yeah, and can you see a person already with the intellectual injuries can't explain it?
Yeah.
The state of, it's a state, it's not actually a process.
Mm.
It's like trust. Trust is a state, it's not a process.
Like let go.
You could say let go, yes, let go. And means let everything just drop where it is, doesn't it really? Surrender to everything. Whatever is happening around you, whatever feeling you're having just happens in the moment and you don't even think about it anymore. That's surrender, right? But the average person has no concept of it because they want control of the process of surrender. As soon as you try to get control of the process of surrender, you're already out of harmony with your design and you'll never surrender. You could keep going for days probably listening to the different things, to be honest. But you could say all of those are your excuses to not surrender.
Yeah. Because as you start to work through this very problem, so some of you know, this is the very problem that I've been focused on. Not what is this emotion, what is this memory, how do I deal with that? No. What are my beliefs about emotion? Because unless I clear out that warehouse, everything's going to be hard every time. So,
and particularly, what are your false beliefs?
That's right. Clear out the junk, do the spring clean.
But unfortunately, to clear them out, you've got to feel emotion.
That's right. And it's a bit of a catch-22. It's tricky. It's a tricky territory.
Yeah, and quite often what happens when you start to feel what you don't want to feel, you instantly get the reason why you don't want to feel it. And that's very helpful. But then you've got to have to feel that. Why do you want revenge? Like there's beliefs driving that, you need to feel them too. But you can see if you're ready to feel one layer, you'll get ready to feel the next and the next. And you won't need to educate yourself what is the next. It will be automatically, after you've done one layer, the next will come up. So an example of that is, let's say the first layer is just anger, and I'm not talking about rage or like resentment, because that's even beyond anger, right? If we just look at anger itself, if I'm now recognizing I'm angry, then once I let myself feel my anger properly, if I surrender to my anger, within 30 to 60 seconds I'll be crying. Usually that will happen because the anger has been a wrapper around the next thing that I did not want to surrender to, right? Yeah. And so fundamentally, the arrogance is just a layer created by myself to avoid surrender.
Yeah, to avoid the actual emotion. Yeah, so that's just one of the other list of emotions that needs to be worked through to then have genuine praise and to...
Well, let's stop this whole work through. Can you work through emotions?
You just have them.
You either have them or you don't have them.
Yeah.
So arrogance, what are you going to have to do with arrogance?
Feel the feelings of the arrogance.
Yeah, you're going to have them.
Like, I am, like... Yeah.
I think I'm pretty top shit, right? Yeah.
Feel yourself in there.
Feel yourself in this place and feel it. And then you can, if you feel it properly, you will automatically begin feeling what's under it.
Oh.
Automatically. Remember I said that about sadness and anger. If you feel the layer of anger that's there and you're actually feeling it, you will automatically, within a very short period of time, feel why and what does my anger give me? Power over what emotion? You'll feel these things. You don't have to work through it.
Yeah.
You will feel. You will go through it. You will not see the whole concept of working through it is about controlling going through it.
Right.
So,
you understand? So while I'm working through it and I'm putting effort into my mind to deal with it all, I am working through it so that I control myself from actually like blah. It's like You know when you need to vomit? Nikki? I don't know.
I need to do a lot of vomiting, you're saying.
When you need to vomit, you get to this point, don't you? It's like, it's coming up.
Yeah.
It's very unpleasant.
It's going to go everywhere.
It's going to go everywhere, and it's happening right now. You understand? That's what we don't want to do with our emotion.
Yep.
Yeah. But you could say, you know, at the point of vomiting, your body is surrendering for what it needs to do to clear away the problem, isn't it? At that point, it's sort of, so before then, you're in a state where you're going, you know, I can control this, I can keep it down. You know, whatever you're
tried it all, man.
yeah. But if you like you got food poisoning or something, the body wants it out of you, right? And so the body's going to go.
It's the design of the body.
It's the design.
One way or another.
One way or another, it's coming out.
Yeah.
Right, back end, front end, whatever.
Yeah.
It's coming out, and you haven't got any control over it anymore. It's coming. It's coming, and all you can do is help it.
Yeah.
When I say help it, you get to the point where you surrender and let it happen. You understand?
Yes.
Physically,
Yes.
you surrender and let it happen. Well, that's what we need to do with our emotion.
Okay.
So with our emotion, we need to surrender to arrogance. You have to physically feel it there.
Okay. Okay. Right.
Be in it, feel it there. Notice it. You'll notice it. If you be in it, you'll notice it. If you allow yourself to be in it, see, it's the denial that creates the disallowance for being. So when I'm in denial of the experience, I'm now not. So how can anybody help you beyond that point? They can't. God can't. The person can't. Make sense? So how do you get beyond that? The only way is to start to work through you work through the feelings, not by working through them, but by having them.
By actually having the feeling.
Yeah, you've got to have your arrogance.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to gain emotional awareness of your own arrogance.
Not only that, you've got to have
initially, but initially, you're going to have that.
Yeah.
And you have it obviously to yourself. You don't act it out, right?
Well, you will when you start having it for yourself, when you act it out, you'll see it straight away.
You'll pick up the microphone
and you'll be so
on
embarrassed,
Saturday
like,
and you'll go, oh my gosh, I'm in this arrogant thing right now. I'm just telling Jesus I already know what he's saying all the time.
Yeah.
And you'll feel that.
Yeah, and you'll also feel like, whoa, like this sort of, when you become aware of sin, it's really interesting, the feeling, because the feeling is sort of guilt as well. Like, there's a mixture of guilt, and it's a good guilt, because you start realising, and it's a feeling you need to go through. Well, I do that. Oh, I do that. Look at me doing that. Like you see yourself doing it. You don't need anybody to tell you you're doing it because you can feel yourself doing it.
You feel the guilt and the shame of doing that thing.
Yeah. And you can feel how much of a sin it is. And then if you allow yourself to feel that enough, you'll get under it.
Okay.
And what does the arrogance cover?
Yeah.
See, the arrogance helps me a lot with avoidance of surrender to my feelings. It makes me seem like I've got everything under control when I have not.
Yeah.
It makes it seem like I'm a good guy when maybe I aren't. Right? It gives me a perception of myself, and also an illusory perception to other people of myself that I like. Because I want people to look after me, whatever. And you start feeling all of those things. You follow? But if you don't feel your arrogance, you won't feel all the other things.
Yeah.
Because the arrogance is like a layer on top of it all.
Yeah.
Right? And almost everybody who hears truth worldwide has very little courage yet, because of what they don't want to surrender to.
So part of it is part of like us not being like that. So for me, it's the arrogance. I'm not willing to feel the feelings under the arrogance.
I'm not saying it's the only thing. I'm just saying it's the thing that stops you from dealing with everything else. So it's your next thing.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's not going to be the only thing. There's going to be a long list of things. But it's your next thing. And you need to learn how to feel it so you can feel it in you. See, at the moment, you don't think you have it, which is denial of it. It's denial of the feeling. And while you're denying the feeling, you will not have it. And if you don't have it, you will never get underneath it. Ever. You won't ever feel what's there underneath.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So you need to learn how to have it and to recognise it and feel it. You know what I mean? That's how you would feel.
Yeah.
So it's all about the perspective you have is governed by the emotions you have, and unless you surrender to the emotions, it's impossible to change the perspective. You can try to intellectually adjust your perspective, but you're always going to come back to the fact that you feel the way you feel, and that's not changing until you actually go through the feeling of it. Right?
Yep.
Yep. And so the only way to go through the feeling of it is to surrender to it. You can't actually go, I'm going to plan to go through the feeling of it. It's like, oh yes, I know I'm arrogant. So
I'm going to do my journaling about it.
I'm going to journal about it, think about it, all that kind of stuff. Ponder, reflect. Well, some of those things are soul things. And some of them are intellectual things. The intellectual ones are not going to help you. Yep. Soul things are like learning how to feel it, teaching yourself how to feel your arrogance, and actually feeling it. That's a soul thing. And then if you do that, then you'll get through it. You'll get down why you want it so much.
Yeah.
Right? Because a person who's arrogant wants it a lot. And the reason why they want it are varied. There's many reasons underneath why they might want it. Do. So this is what I'm saying to all of you is that when you want to surrender to a feeling, you will find that you won't even recognize the want anymore. You will just be in the feeling.
Mm.
To recognize the want means you're not in the feeling yet. If that makes sense to all of you. When you feel your feelings as you have them, it's like you only recognize them afterwards generally. Like, oh, I had that feeling. Not, I'm about to have that feeling. You follow? And so it's very interesting. It's a very interesting sort of switch that happens in a person. And in the spirit world, the third sphere is where this switch generally happens on the divine love path, where people make this sort of quite strong switch into complete surrender to their feelings. And that's why from the third sphere onwards, the two paths are very divergent from each other.